What's going on, Alabama fans? We've got a loaded show on tap for you guys today. Coming up on today's show, we're going to be talking about the latest on Jaeden Roberts' injury update. His mom put out a tweet this morning. We knew he was injured, didn't know what it was exactly or how, severe or anything like that. So she did put that out for us on Twitter today. So we're going to talk about Jaeden Roberts' injury. Another Jaeden Harmon, has flipped to Tennessee from Alabama's 2025 recruiting class. So we'll break that down for you guys as well. And talk about where Alabama sits with that linebacker position, the middle linebacker position, in particular for that 2025 recruiting class. We will also break down the latest on A.K. Deer. He has finally set a commitment date for us, so we will talk about A.K. Deer, Jaeden Harmon, and Jaeden Roberts on today's video. But before we get into all that, you guys have done an amazing job with our August Like Challenge. So we're about halfway through, a little bit over halfway through now, so I got a new goal for you guys. I want to double our like numbers from August 2023. We need, another 2,000 or so to get there. So make sure you guys, every single time we put a video out here on the Alabama Football Report, make sure you like that video. It should be the first thing you do. I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited about Alabama kicking off here in just a couple of weeks now. So make sure you guys like today's video for me right now. First things first, we want to talk about the latest in the Jaeden Roberts injury. Yesterday, Kalen DeBoer talking about Jaeden Roberts getting injured during that scrimmage on Saturday, saying during his post-practice press conference, a little bit of a tongue twister there, he said Jaeden Roberts will be able to play in week one. It won't be anything where he'll be out for a game or anything like that. So not a big deal, Jaeden Roberts going down, but we didn't really know what, the injury was or anything like that until his mom this morning putting this out on Twitter, just letting us know that he did go into surgery today. And, it seems like everything went fine. And then somebody asked, what did he have surgery on? That's the biggest question out there. And she said it was his hand. So don't really know what happened. Maybe got stepped on or something like that. But, assuming that Jaeden Roberts is going to be out there in 2 weeks now for the first game of Alabama's football season. And that's really, really big because you need that guy out there along the offensive line at that right guard spot. And if he were, to not be able to go out there or, anything, whether it gets hurt again or something like that, I think the next guy up for that right guard position is going to be Geno VanDeMark. He's been a guy that, Coach Cap has gone on record and said he can play center, he can play guard, any of those interior positions along the offensive line. I think he's going to be the first guy to go in. Like I said, whether that's at center or guard, I think he is a very solid option for Alabama. Very versatile, can play a lot of different positions along the offensive line. So nothing big right now on Jaeden Roberts, but we do know he had surgery on his hand this morning. But, according to Kalen DeBoer and Jaeden Roberts' mom herself, he should be good to go by the first game of the season. So if somebody goes down on the interior of that offensive line, you got one real big guy. Gino Vanderark is pretty much the guy that, everybody is saying he's going to be the guy that goes out there if something happens on the interior. So it made me think, he's a really, really big transfer. Probably not going to be a starter for you. You got those guys there. But is he the most underrated transfer for Alabama this season? Let me know at the pinned comment of today's video. Type Y for yes or N for no. The next big topic that broke this morning, well, not really this morning, kind of around noon or so, four-star linebacker Jaeden Harmon has flipped now from Alabama to Tennessee, even though he told Joseph Hastings of Bama Online this past week that he was 100% committed to the Crimson Tide. I guess that's just how the recruiting trail goes here in 2024. Tennessee also got David Sanders, one of the best offensive linemen in the country. So, maybe they're throwing around, some big bucks to get some guys. But, it is what it is. Alabama's still pretty solid. in that 2025 recruiting class when it comes to linebacker. Jaeden Harmon in particular, pretty solid athlete overall. I mean, I like the kid. I've always liked watching his film. He's a 4-star recruit in this 2025 class, number 155 overall, the number 18 linebacker in the class, and the number 19 player from the state of Georgia. And with losing Jaeden Harmon, like I said, Alabama still stands pretty solid at the middle linebacker, inside linebacker position. They've got Daryl Duke Johnson, 5-star in the 247 Sports Composite rankings, number 33 overall, and the number 4 linebacker in this class. They've also got Mater Dei High School's Abdul Sanders Jr., 4-star recruit, really solid player. I really like his game. And then Luke Metz as well in this class. They're also going after one other guy when it comes to that middle linebacker position, and that is Ty Jackson. And I really wanted to put both 247 Sports and On3. It's not the composite rankings. It is just their rankings, individually. It's just so wild to me how On3 can have him as the number 1 ranked linebacker in the country, and then 247 Sports has him the number 20 ranked linebacker in the country. I don't understand how two different people can see it so differently. I mean, number 25 overall in the country for On3, number 199 overall in the country for 247 Sports. So, rankings are rankings, I guess it is what it is, but he's a solid talent at the end of the day, and Alabama is definitely in position to get him in this 2025 recruiting class. If something, happens, if he, drops, top teams, drops commitment date, anything like that, we will keep you guys updated on his recruitment. Today's show is presented by Prize Picks, and Prize Picks is my favorite daily fantasy sports app. They're America's number 1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is so easy to play. All you do is you pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks, and you can turn $10 into $1,000. That's absolutely insane. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even have to win that pick. You're just going to get the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. You do not have to win your picks. These are my season-long picks for college football this year. I've got Jalen Milroe. I'm going to ride with him all day. I've got him with the more than 2,574.5 passing yards. I think that's going to be pretty easy in this Kalen DeBoer offense. Zachariah Branch, I'm going to throw the more than on him as well. 649.5 receiving yards. And then Luther Burden. I think, he's going to go for over 1,000 yards this year pretty easily. He's one of the best wide receivers in the country this year. But if, you're a little bit iffy on, one out of your 3 picks, you can always go with the flex play. You only got to get 2 out of the 3 right to, win your picks. But at the end of the day, you do get a little bit less on the return, but, a win is a win at the end of the day. I think Tom last year went 13 for 16 when it came to his flex plays, when it came to the power plays, getting all 3 correctly. Only got like 3 of 16. So the flex play, in my opinion, is the way to go on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS for your first deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, run your game. One of the best running backs in the country, A.K. Deer, has finally set a commitment date. He's been bouncing around, from Ole Miss to Alabama. He was committed to Ole Miss at one time, but then decommitted. Took a couple visits to see the Crimson Tide, really liked what he saw from them. Ends up decommitting from Ole Miss, and we kind of just been sitting around since then. But, August 20th, just 2 days from now, A.K. Deer is finally going to announce his commitment. Hopefully it's going to be the last announcement that he's going to have to make. He is a 4-star recruit in this 2025 recruiting class per the 247 Sports Composite rankings, number 33 overall. So, man, he's right there. Usually it's the top 30, top 32, something like that is in that 5-star category. So, maybe once those recruiting services, get updated around the December time, he very well could be a 5-star by that time. Like I said, he's the number 2 running back in the country and the number 3 player from the state of Mississippi. AK Deer's top 3 teams that he's going to be picking between: the Alabama Crimson Tide, Ole Miss. Like I told you guys, he was committed to Ole Miss at one time. And then also Mississippi State. So 2 Mississippi teams in there. And then you got Alabama as well for AK Deer. Really, in my opinion, I think it's really between Alabama and Ole Miss for AK Deer. So it's really between those 2 teams. So let me know right now in the comment section. Where do you guys think AK Deer will commit to in 2 days? If you think it's going to be Alabama, type A in the comment section. If you think it's going to be Ole Miss, type O in the comment section. Or if you think it's going to be Mississippi State, go ahead and type M for me in the comment section. He's one of the best running backs in the country. I would love to get him in Alabama's 2025 recruiting class. This has really been the timeline for AK Deer. March 21st, he visits Alabama. The next following weekend, he visits Ole Miss. Loves what he sees from Ole Miss, hometown, or not hometown, but, home state team. Goes ahead and commits to Ole Miss on March 30th, then goes back to Ole Miss for an unofficial visit on April 13th, and then officially visits Alabama on June 14th, a month later, and then just a week after that, he decommitted from Ole Miss, and then visited Alabama on the same exact day. So I think Alabama is sitting pretty solid when it comes to AK Deer. And there are a ton of predictions out there for AK Deer to the Crimson Tide. You see right here on 3, they've got 5 different guys that are predicting AK Deer to Alabama. And I think it's very notable when it comes to the dates on here compared to the timeline. June 25th from Andrew Bone. June 25th from Joseph Hastings. Both those guys from Bama Online. They do phenomenal work. Zach Berry, he put in his prediction as well on June 25th. Michael Lanston put in his prediction on June 28th. And then most recently, Max Torres put in his prediction for AK Deer to commit to the Crimson Tide yesterday on August 17th. So I think Alabama's pretty solid for AK Deer. He's been a heavy favorite for the Crimson Tide on pretty much all the sites. So I would assume it's going to be Alabama for AK Deer, but like I said earlier when we were talking about Jaeden Harmon, you just never know in the year 2024 when it comes to recruiting. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. Just a little bit of an update for our August sub battle against our Michigan Football Report channel. We are, what's that math right there, 9 ahead on subs. I think we can do better than that. We're going to be having watch parties coming up every single game of the season, so you guys do not want to miss out on that. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here at youtube.com/@RollTideTV.